First of all, tell me a little bit about your about this thing. Why is there a Tom Cat on your Tom Gin?
Well, Old Tom Gin is actually what they called the gins in London long before the dry gins. And long story short, they actually used to serve them out of the side of the pub in these old cat sculptures. Like someone come up with a penny in their thing and they pour it through the cat's mouth and you just grab your cup.
That's a great story. Now, I would imagine since you're Tom and you're making an Old Tom Gin, and now we've got this, are you being called Old Tom at this point?
Well, no. This highlights young Tom, Old Tom. This really highlights the distinction, and I think that was the whole purpose.
I love it. All right. Well, let's. I haven't tasted it yet, and I know that Melissa is going to taste it with me, at least. So, and Mike has got it. Great. So, Tom, what should we be noticing about the aroma of your gin?
Well, it should be complex and floral. And one thing about an Old Tom, because it's barrel aged, you want a lot of bright notes to stand up to the barrel. And the fact that we're tasting it kind of shows that you can make this a sipper because the barrel gives it that body that makes it stand up.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Old Tom gins, and because they sort of, you can sip them like bourbon, and they're right. Sort of somewhere between a gin and a bourbon. And I don't know, Mike or Melissa, have you had Old Tom gins before?
No, this is my first time tasting, and it's really good. It's really
right,
good.
And it's surprising because you're sort of you're thinking you're going to get this just overwhelming burst of juniper like most gins, and yet you get this very smooth sort of bourbony like barrel fermented taste.
I have to be honest, I'm not a gin drinker, and this has that bourbony taste of gin. I think I might become a Tom's gin drinker now.
There you go.
Yeah,
no, you can see it. And my wife doesn't drink gin, but she does drink Old Tom. So there's a lot of, now it's funny, we actually tasted 2 weeks ago another Old Tom gin, and they only used one botanical, just juniper, and then they added honey. And you used 20, which I think is so interesting. And one of those is cassia. So Nicole, who is our official herbalist, our official botanical expert, Nicole, what the heck is cassia?
Hi everyone. So cassia is actually the cousin of cinnamon. So it's a spice made from the bark of East Asian evergreen trees, and it provides that nice, spicy, warming, earthy finish to the gin that you might taste right now. Fun fact, the Chinese cassia trees can grow up to 15 meters tall.
Awesome. Amazing. Okay, now I have to really taste the cassia and the finish. Thank you, Nicole. We'll see you later.
It's great you guys have experts on anything on this show.
We do. You know, we take the gin tasting very seriously in the marketing world. So what is your favorite part of this, Tom, in terms of what, as a takeaway for the audience? Because, you know, while I love gin, I do find it difficult to talk about them and the differences.
Well, the thing I love about an Old Tom gin is that you can sip them. I mean, right. no one, well, we do. We sip dry gins all the time. But because of the barrel aging and the sweetness and the wine in the barrel, you know, like you said, this can be on the rocks. This doesn't have to be made in the cocktail. I also like that it goes well with like the citrus floral drinks, like the last words, things of that nature, Vespers. It really just enhances an extra layer. So, yeah, I'll drink my dry martinis, dirty martinis. You know, that's one thing. But this is, you know, a new exploration, you know, a little side way to explore gin.
And so remind me again, because I didn't, where is your distillery located?
We're located in the heart of industrial Southeast Portland. In the state of Oregon, if you've heard of it, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, love Portland. You know, as they say, keep it weird.
we try every day.
I love it.
Drew, right. I would have to say that Tom might have the best background I've seen so far in the world of Zoom.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
I agree.
No,
it's real.
Well, you can't even see the still. You know, if you had if I move my camera, there's this beautiful still back there. I don't know if it shows up. Christian Carl to Germany, make all our spirits on that.
Nice. Well, Tom, thank you very much for your Old Tom gin. We will be enjoying this, I know, for weeks to come. I have to say, I absolutely love this, both from a an aroma and a taste. It's just and it's really it's a really interesting taste. It's more complex, honestly, than what we tasted a couple weeks ago. So, all right, any last comments, Mike or Melissa, on the gin?
No, I loved it. I love the bourbon notes that I get from that. It makes me want to, make an old fashioned. So, thanks for letting us try this.
All right.
Okay, gin old fashioned is a real thing. Just let people know that. So.
Gin old fashioned. All right, Tom, thank you so much. And let's get back to partnerships and